I hail from the city of international commerce, which is Hong Kong. Moved when I was 9, but proud to be Jayhawk raised in the championship state of Kansas ever since I moved to the U.S. Now, a lot of you might be wondering, what does basketball and entrepreneurship have anything to do with each other? For me, it has everything to do with each other because back in 2008, when Mario Chalmers hit the game-tying shot against Memphis to send us into overtime, where we eventually won the championship, I was 16 years old, across the street, sitting in the basement with my best friends. And in that moment, I got officially Jayhawk indoctrinated because when we won the championship, we ran out of the basement and we screamed like crazy kids, yelling, "We won the championship! We won the championship!" And for me, I developed such a strong passion and love for the game. But the only issue is, even though I made the team in high school, and I had absolutely what it took to even walk on a KU, my parents, my culture, traditionally speaking, would not allow for such a ludicrous claim. Because when you are someone who was supposed to take over your dad's accounting firm, and you tell him, "Hey, Pops, look, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I don't want to, 1, wake up in the city, and 2, wake up and do people's taxes." And then he's like, "Okay, well, what do you want to do?" And I said, "Let me explore the medical field and go be a surgeon instead." It is very difficult to let them know, "Hey, I want to pursue basketball because that's not what we do around here. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?" And so for me, during high school and college, I always sacrificed the one thing that I loved most because I had to conform and I had expectations to follow, even though it was not the right thing in my pathway. And when I finished 12 hours at urgent care, working to become an orthopedic surgeon, going, what am I doing this for? I knew that enough was enough. And that's when I made the decisive decision to pivot into entrepreneurship, to give myself hope. Because I said, listen, if I have to own an NBA team just to pursue my own goals and dreams, then that's how I'm going to have to do it. See, like many of you in the room, it may not be basketball. It may be like one of my team members who want to create wealth for clean water and sustainable agriculture. It may be for someone who's passionate about underserved kids in the urban area. Or it may be for empowering women across the globe, because that's what your heart tells you to do. At the end of the day, we all need wealth as a vehicle to help us get those things. And for me, it just happens to be basketball, but I want you guys to know that because of my journey, I hope to give you inspiration to really go after your dreams. Because when I was in entrepreneurship, I found footing in all things business and leadership development. As a point guard, that had always been important to me, running the team, being a floor general, but I also knew that leadership itself is an integral skill set in life that is very underrated. Whether you are an NBA team owner, NBA coach, NBA team physician, leadership is something that is applicable to all things in life. However, even though I was doing the thing that gave me footing, I was not making enough money. I was not making enough money to where my parents could actually look at me and say, "You are not a disappointment. You are not the idiot that we said you were." Because at the end of the day, I signed up for a prestigious surgery program that would grant me $500,000 every single year. And now I'm doing what? And especially, no matter how wealthy or non-wealthy your family is, when it comes to anything athletics, oh no, we don't have the money for that. But when it comes to SAT, MCAT, and LSAT, oh, we'll find you the money for that. So there's a lot of things around status quo, around conformity, and around barriers that the society might put us in a box where I'm telling you today it is possible to step out of those things and really own what you want to go after. Life rewards risk takers, and I'm so glad that I did what I did, because had I not put myself out there to go network, to go learn, to commit to my personal goal and dreams that I love so much, I would have never met my business partner here today who runs a hedge fund, who opened up my eyes to the power of light speed investing embedded within the futures financial markets. See, there's a gentleman by the name of John Arnold who was able to take 1.5 million to 1.5 billion in 2.5 years after graduating from Vanderbilt. And as a matter of fact, this allowed him to become one of the youngest billionaires in the US at age 33 back in 2007. And before he became a billionaire, he happened to have hosted a lot of trading workshops and seminars here in Dallas, Texas, where my business partner actually had the opportunity to get directly mentored by him. See, what we represent is a group of former medical professionals who are now investment professionals. And my business partner and I share the same struggles where he did not find fulfillment as a former internal medicine doc. And so when he got directly mentored by John Arnold and now is able to transfer these skill sets to me and my team members, it was such an enlightening moment, because I was just like, what else do I not know? You never know what is that you don't know that you don't know. And I'm telling you right now, if you take that leap of faith and you are open-minded enough to learn, you're going to find resources out there that will propel you to heights you will never, ever thought possible. See, 40%, if you did your due diligence and studied this, not study medicine, but study business and Forbes, 40% of the wealthiest, after about the top 10 richest listed on Forbes, do the game I'm about to share with you, which is futures and commodities, futures financial markets. And where this lies, you have to recognize this, is very similar to getting a private invite to a congressman's house. This is the same thing, except in the private financial sectors. Most of the information I am sharing with you today is not shared in colleges for a reason. Colleges is meant to create employees. They put you in about $300K worth of debt. You come out maybe getting a job worth $50K. What type of ROI is that after 4 years? Are you kidding me? So there is a system that has been established in which the ultra wealthy and the wealthy's information is very heavily safeguarded. And I am here to share with you today this information so you can take with it and do what you need to on your own and go fulfill the same MBA dreams that all of you here have deep inside your hearts. Because otherwise, you will not be here in Dallas, whether driving locally or flying out from another state or maybe even internationally. My goal is to provide you with a roadmap of the 3 pillars that have allowed me at a championship excellence level where I committed to be where I am today. Millionaires, and you're most likely going to be the next one. I say in the NBA, put me next to 5 or 6 NBA Hall of Famers and see what that does for a Jayhawk like me. Now, in terms of commitment, there's 3 pillars that I want to share with you that's gotten me to where I am, where I'm now able to travel for both business and basketball, where I'm now able to go from president or from a kid lost, not knowing what to do, to now president and CEO of a private investment firm based out in Florida. Pillar number 1, commit to your own greatness. Commit to the dreams that was already inside you. Because what you have to recognize is that if you already have a dream, it is predestined for you ahead of time by the universe to go after it. It is a dream that you are meant for as long as you're willing to prove your worth and go after it despite any obstacles and every obstacles that the universe is going to throw at you. Because if it is not you, then who? Let's look at greatness, for example. Roger Bannister, the man who broke the 4-minute mile run. You know what's so crazy about that? Is ever since he broke the 4-minute mile, multiple people, like a tsunami, broke the same 4-minute mile record. You know why? Because it shattered a limiting belief. Commit to your own greatness. Commit to a high level of belief, because if you do not believe in yourself, who's going to do it? If you are not your own best cheerleader, who is going to get you through the ups and downs of life? Let it be alone entrepreneurship, right? Pillar number 2. This is so important. In order for you to have championship success in anything, you have to commit to your own personal development. I didn't start where I am right now. It first started when I was going through my master's at KU Med by hanging out indirectly with Mark Cuban because I binge watched Shark Tank. Because he is a fellow NBA team owner that happens to be a billionaire. That's someone that I can look up to. And I said, if I'm going to do this master's thing as an excuse, I might as well go through a self-directed entrepreneurship MBA, not an MBA like a Master's of Business Administration, but a massive bank account so that I can actually do the thing that I want to do. And so it all starts with learning and binging on the things that you don't know. And when you get to a certain point that you feel like you can execute, go after it. Because again, if you don't commit to your personal development, it is very, very difficult to succeed, especially in entrepreneurship, which is a realm that is essentially made up of skill sets. As a business owner, your job is to work on the business, not work in the business. You need to create systems and processes so that you can actually scale. But what actually happens in the beginning? It's marketing, sales, client fulfillment. Marketing, sales, client fulfillment until the demand gets so strong and so high. But for you to actually be able to execute those things, you need to learn it. You need to embrace how to execute it. And you need to understand with humility that there are things that you may not be doing wrong. Investment is essentially the same thing. There are multiple different asset classes out there. And you know what's funny? All investments are great investments. The only thing bad about them is the fit. Let me ask you something. If your life was a square and the investment asset class you chose was a circle or a triangle, how do you think that's going to fare for you? It's not. Simple geometry. The point that I'm making is most people are not educated enough to where they have business acumen or investment acumen for them to actually have a chance at being wealthy. When it comes to the futures financial markets, one of the best things that I love about this skill set is it is a skill set that you can have for the rest of your life. The risk to reward ratio we're aiming for is 10%, where we risk $5 to make 50, 50 to make 500, or 500 to make $5,000. The thing about it is that 10% risk actually goes away if you enter the trades in on momentum. Very similar to real estate, where you want to look for strategic locations, you want to look for strategic trading entries so that right when you enter, you are riding the wave, just like the California surfers out on the West Coast. You are not guessing, because if you ever find yourself trading and you don't even know what's happening, that's when it becomes gambling. We do not day trade over here. We are high-frequency trading professionals who go in and go out of the market like it's our own ATM. Our own ATM where we have full control over our own destiny to create not the academic MBA, but the real-life MBA where things actually matter, and to create a massive bank account so that you can not only live your dreams, but you can provide that inspiration to whoever you need to hand the baton off to. Because like we talked about earlier, at the end of the day, what's going to happen when you're not around, right? So if you don't embrace being open about learning, about exploring things, it is going to be very difficult for you to get there. Pillar number 3, you have to commit to maximizing and seizing opportunities when they present themselves. Because you have to recognize there's only so many windows that life will give you. If you don't show up and take advantage of whatever is happening in front of you right then and there, I mean, personally speaking, if I didn't, number one, leave Hong Kong, I wouldn't be Jayhawk raised. If I wasn't Jayhawk raised, I would have never found out that I hated the quote-unquote career path that I thought I had figured out. And if I didn't continue to do these things like a baton handoff, I wouldn't be president and CEO today, where I get to actually not work. When I say not work, it's because, number one, the content of what we do is so impactful and transformative, where we have clients struggling to make $5,000 a month who are now making $5,000 a day. That is, when that comes back to you, that's not work. Number two, I'm working with the same people who have like-minded ferocities and aggression in terms of where our alignment is for championship excellence. One of my team members who I'm currently grooming right now, he always comes to me and talks about, man, we need to do this, this, and this because these areas need clean water. Oh, that area needs clean water. Phenomenal kid. And, when you're tired and someone like that comes up and speaks to you, you're just like, okay, I guess I'm not tired anymore because there's clean water to be had around the world. And so for all of you today, I hope that these messages really inspire you and have outlined what it is that you need to do at a commitment level to go after the goals and dreams that make sense. One of the many questions that I get asked is, Philip, you're up here speaking to us about championship excellence at the commitment level, but do you work with anyone on this topic at all? I know this is something that you've personally achieved. And the answer is a resounding yes. If you hadn't done so, I would highly encourage you to come to our booth and speak with our team members, not just about what we do, but about their own personal story. Each and every single one of us is first and foremost a client who are now a team member of this amazing company that is spreading transformation and impact all around the world. And if you decide to hang out with us, it's a 2-week free access where you actually get to witness us make money live in the futures and commodity financial markets the right way, where you are going to be around a championship team of experts who actually know what they're doing. And so what this means for you is that you can actually go out and implement what we've been sitting here talking about for the entire day so far. You can actually take action and go implement what we have discussed as a group, where you can witness hope in the wealth that can be actually created, just like I witnessed it for myself. Guys, I am not sure why you're here, but I do know that you're all here for a very specific reason. Do not let this be one of those events where you just show up, leave, and you rinse and repeat. My name is Philip Jayhawk Chan, and when Mario Chalmers hit the game-tying shot against Memphis, a lot of people dub it as the miracle shot. Because what they don't recognize is, yes, even though we were playing against John Calipari and Derrick Rose, they only had the coach and the star. When we hit that game-tying shot to send us into overtime, as a Jayhawk who bleeds crimson and blue and championship excellence day in and day out, I knew we were going to win the game. Because at the end of the day, our depth of our bench was way more than what Memphis can offer collectively as a group. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a blessed day.